Daily Lunar Forecast, February 22nd, Taurus Moon, Liberation, and Bill Gates. I've said it before, Taurus is the chain breaker. People have their own biases about the signs, but the mythologies are clear. The white bull of Jupiter, the Apis bull of Egypt, the Osiris resurrection, the Christ resurrection, spring. Astrologically, it's enough that when Uranus entered Taurus in 2017, we started to see left and right fight against the elites in the Me Too movement. And today, with the moon's fast entry into Taurus, Bill Gates is indicted and set to be tried for crimes against humanity around COVID. It's clear as day that Uranus in Aries, which entered Aries in 2012 or 2013, set us up against ourselves. We started fighting, left versus right, couldn't figure out what we were about. And it just ended in a lot of bitterness. Just like it did the Germans in the 30s, fighting against themselves, intergovernment parties. And like clockwork, just like when it entered Taurus, Uranus, around 35 or 38, and started making them unite around a common leader against a common enemy, it's making people throughout 2017 up to 2026 unite against a common enemy. And that's what the archetype of the bull does. Just like when Rocky and Apollo Creed trained against the Russian, or in Rocky 3, or when the guys in Dragon Ball Z do the fusion dance to join together to fight against evil. People forget Taurus is a Venus sign and that it represents unity for people without voices. That's why leaders like Malcolm X are born under Taurus. That's why Taurus supports the agriculturalists, the everyday people. People disagree out of personal bias what Taurus does. They look at the effects of a Taurus under Pluto or some other malefic and decide that all Taurians are Plutonian or malefic. And they look at Scorpio as the chain breaker. Well, for one thing, Pam Bondi is a Scorpio. Scorpions are autumn creatures. They care about judgment. That's why they sting. They melt away the green and turn trees into dead wood. That's great if the trees are actually poisonous. But if they're not, and they're trying to produce fresh air for movements and for the people, it's not good. Scorpios in reality only care to justify themselves, right or wrong. It's not about objective liberation, like with Libra or Taurus or even Capricorn. Now I want to add a caveat here. Scorpio is also a great sign. Like I said, it melts things away, so it draws things into exposure. That's great. Like I said, if the trees are bringing fresh air to the people, that's not good. That's what Pam Bondi is fighting against. But, if the scorpion is trying to kill the trees that are in Bill Gates' lawn, trees of destruction, trees of inhumanity, then that is good. But pay attention to the creatures that the signs represent and study them. And you'll find out that the bull, who always side-eyes you, has great vision, and that the scorpion, which is a nocturnal creature with many eyes, has poor eyesight. Let nature speak for itself. Doesn't mean that scorpions are bad or that Scorpios are bad. In the best light, they give us exposure. They give us insight. Caveat number 2 is that there's a brief time frame where planets transit from Scorpio to Sagittarius. Now, in between Scorpio and in between Sagittarius, in between signs 8 and signs 9, is a so-called hidden sign, which is Ophiuchus. The reason that we count Ophiuchus in astrology is that all planets pass through Ophiuchus. Ophiuchus is a part of the zodiacal band. None of the planets ever pass through any signs out of those 13. Not the Big Dipper, Ursa Major, not Auga, and not Cassiopeia. No other zodiac signs. Or, constellations. So that's what makes Ophiuchus special, really, is that it's excluded from the zodiac in astrology for whatever reason. But the actual symbolism of Ophiuchus aligns with the chain breaker, and I would say that sign counts as a counterpart to Taurus, because its identity is about grabbing the snakes of deception and overcoming them. So this is actually interesting. If you look at when most exposure pieces come, when most disclosure pieces come, a great example would be one of the most prominent and earliest ufology books. Came out in autumn, not under Scorpio, but under Libra. I call Taurus the sign of oustings, because this is the time where, spring cleaning, you oust all the dust devils. Caveat number 3 would be that sometimes the dust devils get ahead over you. Sometimes the planets are so malefically aligned in springtime that Taurus does take the shape of a black bull. A really pitiful case would be that Virginia Joffre passed away in May under the sign of the bull. She was a leader. She was one of the most outspoken leaders, and she was a triple Leo, for the exposure against Epstein. So it's not to necessarily say that Taurus is a sign that great things will always happen. Of course, this is the beauty of astrology and of the patron deity Mercury, to give us perception and nuance. A lot of people, whether they're first-year astrologers or 30-year astrologers, will overlook the fact that planets cause nuance.